Record. All right, welcome everybody to our team call. I'm really excited to have this tonight. It's been a while since we've gotten together because of Summit and everything that was going on, but I've been missing you guys, so I'm excited to do this again. And then just a heads up, Missy started her own team call every other week. She had her first one last Wednesday, and I know some of you guys got on. And she'll be having her next one next Wednesday. And so on the weeks that she has her team calls, I decided to go ahead and skip ours because I know it's hard for, we could have a call every night if we participated with everything going on. And I don't want to keep you guys, I want you guys out there and have free time to do what you're supposed to be doing. So I don't want to have too much on our plates. So this week we have our team call. Next week it'll be with Missy. However, and this is a big announcement, I'm very excited about this. I am going to be hosting on Monday. So write this down because I want you to share this with your teams and share this with any coach prospects that you have that are curious about signing up. This Monday, I'm going to be hosting a new coach orientation webinar. So this is going to cover everything that a new coach needs to know to get started right and to get their business going. And I'm going to be explaining my 21-day business launch system that I've been using with my new coaches, and it's been working very, very, very well. So if you have anyone who's been kind of on the fence about coaching or interested in coaching, I just want to encourage you to reach out to them and say, hey, we have this awesome webinar that's coming up on Monday. And if you sign up by Monday, you can get on that and you can get your business started right away and have all the information you need. So you can use that kind of as a little incentive to get people to bite if they've been curious. That will be Monday night on the 17th at 6 o'clock. And that's Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you share that with your teams. I will be announcing that in our team page as well tonight, probably. So Missy's calls on the 12th. And then we have the new Platinum Presenters website training portal that looks pretty amazing, except I can't sign in. So as soon as they figure, I know other people are having troubles getting in as well. So as soon as they get that figured out, I'll be letting you guys know that that's up and running. But if you don't know, Christine Dwyer is one of the top coaches, I think she's the top coach in all of Beachbody history as far as her earnings and her status and everything with the company. And that's her training site. So it's already tons of great information, but she updated everything. She revamped it. She made it more user-friendly. So I'm really excited to dig into that because I think there's going to be a lot of really cool stuff. All right. So reminders to everyone that, and this is kind of going to flow into what I'm going to talk about tonight. The National Wake Up Call is every Monday at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's free. So this is something that Beachbody provides us as a tool to grow our businesses. They get people on that call that have done amazing, amazing things with their business and taken it amazing places and have great inspiring stories and all of that. And they do that for us for free every week. And I listen every single week to this call. It's a non-negotiable for me. If you want to grow your business, I highly recommend you make it a non-negotiable for you. It doesn't have to be on Monday. They archive them. I mean, you can listen all week long on the playback line. You can go online and listen to it, but make sure you set aside a time during your week where you can get on and listen to that call. The meat of the call, the actual training portion of the call, is only 20 minutes. We're not talking like an hour here. It's really short. There's a Team Beachbody podcast where they upload all these calls onto a podcast. So if you have a commute and you drive to work and you have time that you're spending, like that, or doing the dishes or doing the laundry or whatever, put it on play on your earphones and just dig into that. They're great, great, great trainings. And like I said, it's free. That's really awesome, right? Because we all we encourage personal development. And that to me is personal development, but it's a free form of it. You're not paying for a book. You get it for free. And it's directly related to what we do. So segueing from that into personal development, just another reminder, you guys, like, I can't tell you how important personal development is to your business. I was at Summit just a couple weeks ago, and every single coach that spoke at Summit, I'm telling you, I believe it was every single one, bar none, mentioned personal development as being a crucial, vital part of how they were able to grow their business. Because let's face it, we don't all start out millionaires, right? But if you want to get to a certain level in your income, if you want to get to a certain status in your business, you have to grow in order to make that happen. You can't just stay where you're at and expect to see growth like that. You have to grow, and your business will only grow to the level that you grow. And so ensuring that you grow is really important. And personal development is an amazing way to do that. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So I wanted to talk tonight about inviting, and just a few tips that I have for how to invite and things to keep in mind when you're inviting. And really, like, I hope to relieve, I know we have a lot of new coaches right now on our team, and I just hope to kind of relieve people's minds or kind of take the stress out of it, because at the heart of it, inviting is really not hard. It's just talking to people. But it's something that if you don't do it, you absolutely will go nowhere. It just makes sense, right? If you're not telling people what you're doing, they don't know and they can't join you. You have to be inviting every day and talking to people. Otherwise, you're not going to go anywhere. So getting this down is kind of important. And so I wanted to talk about this. Beachbody has 3 vital behaviors. The first one is inviting. That's what we're going to talk about today. The second one is being proof that the products work. So that makes sense, right? Like, in order for people to believe in what we do, they need to have something to believe in, and you are their belief system. So your story and your transformation, your progress is very key to this. So doing the programs, you know, working out at home, doing your program, drinking your Shakeology, and being proof that, hey, this works. Look at me. I lost my 50 pounds. Whatever your story is, being proof that that works is absolutely essential. Otherwise, you're just talking hot air, and people can sense that. And it's funny because I know, I don't know if any of you follow Danielle Katz. It's Natoni now. She got married. But she's a Beachbody coach, like, up in the business. She's the crazy insanity girl. But she always tells her story, and it always kind of makes me laugh, because when she started, she was already super fit. She was a gym rat. And if you look at her and you see her pictures, you'll see, like, she's just a gym rat. She's got a 6-pack, like, all the time. It's kind of sick. But anyway, she was already super fit. And so when she started Beachbody, it was like, I need to make money. I need to earn money, because she was super broke. But she was kind of in her own thing at the gym, doing her gym rat thing, like drinking her own stuff. And she's like, I don't need Shakeology. I don't need to work out at the gym or work out with these programs. You know, I'm already doing all of my own thing. I don't need all of that stuff. And so she did it for the longest time. She didn't do it for the longest time, and her business didn't grow. And she said it wasn't until 6 months later that she realized, I'm telling people that they can lose a lot of weight or they can get in shape by doing these programs and products, but I'm not doing it. And so there's a disconnect there. It's like, you know, you're preaching something and you're not following it. It's essential that you not only do the programs and you drink your Shakeology and you follow the programs the way they're designed and you get results, but it's essential that you share that and that people know that. Just losing weight isn't enough. You have to share it. So using myself as an example, I lost 50 pounds my first transformation. I'm gonna like have 2 right now. My first time was 50 pounds with P90X. And I shared the heck out of it. Everybody knew, okay? Then here I am 3 years later, a coach. And I go through my own personal struggle and I gained 12 pounds. I could have easily lost that weight and never said a word, and nobody would have known. Most people, when I say I gained that much weight, don't even believe it anyway. Even the people who see me day to day, until you see pictures, then it's like, oh, wow. But I could have lost the weight and not said anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's not what we're about. We're about being real, and we're about being honest, and we're about being like genuine and telling people, look, everyone struggles. It's okay, you know, but this is my story. And I'm telling you guys, I shared my transformation with the 21-day fix right before I left for Summit. My business has been off the hook ever since. And I've only posted twice about it. I posted the end of the first round, and I posted on week 1 of my second round. It doesn't take a lot, but I could have missed out on that if I'd have let my pride get in the way. And, you know, well, I'm a coach. I'm not supposed to be needing to lose weight. You know, like, people are going to wonder, well, why'd she gain weight? You know, I could have easily let that stand in my way of my progress, but I didn't. So sharing is very important, and being proof the products work is absolutely essential. So the third one is working on yourself through personal development. Okay. And I wanted to kind of go into, I missed this. I was going to talk about this before I got into all of this, but what is vital? We call them the vital behaviors. What does vital mean? If I'm at the hospital and the doctor says, we're going to check your vitals, what do you think that means? They're going to see if I have a heartbeat, right? Like, are you breathing? Do you have blood flowing through your veins? Do you have life? Are you living? That's vital. And so when Beachbody and Carl Deichler gets up there and says to me that all of these 3 things are vital, you have to really think about, what does that mean? It means that it's essential. It's absolutely essential. It's crucial. It's critical. It's key to your success. And it's what provides the life to your business. So personal development to me really is all of those things. And when I first started, I kind of ignored it. I'll be honest with you. I looked at personal development. I'm just being honest. Some people love it. Some people I talk to, oh, I read personal development books all the time. That was not me. Okay. I had never read a personal development book aside from the Bible in my entire life before I became a coach. And when I became a coach and they told me, you need to be doing X, Y, Z, the first one made sense. Inviting made sense. Being proof the products worked made sense. Personal development was like, I'm good. I don't need that. To me, it was like people who don't have friends, can't get a date, and are stuck at home on a Friday night reading a book about how to become a better person so people will like them and they can get a date. That's what I thought it was all about. I'm just being honest. And it wasn't until I went through some pretty rough things in my life and I realized that getting beyond it, or getting by this and getting through this on my own, was not going to happen. I needed some help because I was floundering. And I realized the only thing I hadn't tried was what everybody said was like vital, right? The lifeblood of your business. And I wasn't doing it. And I decided, you know what? Like, I have to do something. I can't stop this. This is my dream job. And so I finally gave in and I started working on personal development. And I finally figured out how to make it work for me. And that is through audio. Everybody's different. Some people like to read a book. I love to read. But I don't have the time in my life to carve out to read where I can focus. So for me, it was getting on Audible. But just figure it out for you, what works for you, you know, and do it regardless of whether you think you need it or not, because you do. I don't care who you are, you need it. And when I was at Summit, every single coach up there mentioned it. You know, personal development was absolutely key to having their business explode the way it did. So just figure it out. Figure out how to make it work. Don't make excuses. And so the reason why I went into those two is because I'm talking tonight about inviting. So you might be sitting here thinking like, why is she talking about personal development and about being proof the products work when she said she was going to be talking about inviting? So let me tell you why. I personally feel that number 2 and number 3 on the list of vital behaviors, so being proof the products work and personal development are fuel to number one. They all lead back to number one. If you want to be good at inviting, you have to have something to talk about. You have to be a proof the product works. How can you invite if you're not doing what we're telling people to do? It just makes sense, right? If you're not fueling your mind and fueling your positive energy and fueling your personal growth and growing as a person, you're not going to be great at inviting people and being positive and being encouraging and being that person that they're going to be motivated by and inspired by. If you're not inspired yourself, it's hard to inspire other people. So your inviting is absolutely fueled by the other two vital behaviors. And I think they really all do work together in that way. So my first tips for inviting are: have a transformation in progress. Be working on your transformation. Whether it's I need to lose 100 pounds or it's I really, am working on keeping myself healthy because my family has a history of diabetes. I mean, we could go down the list. It doesn't have to be your weight. It can be so many other things. Fighting depression. There's just a lot of different ways that you can be working on a personal transformation that you can share and you can be vulnerable about and talk to people about. Have your story ready to share with people. So this is what I wanted to really focus on, because it's important to know your story. And I know that might sound funny because it's like, well, it's my story, right? Like, it's my transformation. Of course I know my transformation. Do you? If I said to you right now, give me your 2-minute transformation pitch or story, could you do it? Do you have it down? Have you rehearsed it? Have you told it enough that you're comfortable just whipping it out and telling whoever you're talking to about it? And the only way that you get to that comfort level where you can just whip it out at a moment's notice or work it into a conversation when it's appropriate is by constantly practicing and telling it over and over and over, and focus on different aspects. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I could tell you my whole transformation story and I could make it 20 minutes long, or I could give you the 1.5 to 2 minute story. You know what I'm saying? Like, get it down to where you are very versatile and you can identify with the person you're speaking to. So if I'm talking to somebody and they mention to me, man, Mary, I'm just really so depressed because, I'm coming out of an abusive relationship. Boom, I know exactly where to go to identify with them because I've had that experience myself. But if I'm talking to somebody who's had a miscarriage or somebody who's struggled with getting pregnant and dealing with depression, I'm not going to tell them about my abusive ex-husband. I'm going to tell them about, you know what I'm saying? So talking to people, and I'm getting ahead of myself right now, but talking to people and figuring out where they're at, that way you can use your story and aspects of your story to relate to where they are. And the way, like I said, the way you do that is by knowing your story so well that you can just whip it out and you can tell it. And as you grow in your business, learn your business transformation story as well. Like, how has this business transformed your life? Like, what does earning $400 extra a month do for you? What does that mean to you? What does it mean for your kids? Like, what does that mean for, like, know that, get it down, talk about it, share it. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll be, and it won't feel forced, and it won't feel like you won't feel nervous. It'll flow freely, but it takes a little bit of practice to get there. All right, so number 2 in my list of essential tips. Constantly immerse yourself in personal development. Constant. And I've learned to do this. And trust me, coming from the person who was like, only losers do personal development, to now me, I listen to a minimum of an hour a day personal development. And I love it, you guys. Like, I crave it. I get in the car. I used to get in the car and I used to listen to talk radio on the way to work. and I'd hear about all the horrible things going on in the world, and the dictators, and the this and the that, and the guys going into buildings with guns, and it was constant depression. And now I get in the car and I'm listening into positive, encouraging, inspiring, uplifting. I'm growing. It gets me thinking. My brain becomes activated when I'm listening, and it gives me great material to post to encourage people in my challenge groups or in my accountability group or on Facebook or on Instagram. The more you immerse yourself in this, you'll hear a quote and you'll be like, oh, pause it. I got to write this down because my accountability group would dig this quote. Or I need to share this on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like, you will get so much, and people will be like, dude, you're so inspiring. And you're like, oh, yeah, I know. I'm so awesome, right? And it was just from your personal development, okay? But you'll get a reputation for it. Trust me. All the top leaders do personal development. So remind yourself of that. If you ever kind of feel like, I'm not really interested in this today, remind yourself, hey, Christine Dwyer spent time in personal development. Janelle Summers spent time in personal development today. So what makes me so much better than them, right? Like, I'm not. So do what they do. You want to have the level of success that they do what they do. Okay, looking down because I've just been talking and ignoring my notes. Okay, so only when you get those two down, only when you get personal development and sharing your story and being a proof the product worked down, will you be great at inviting. So when I'm talking to someone directly in an invitation scenario, things that I try to always remember, and for the longest time I had a sticky note on my computer. It said, it's not about you. I had it, like, sticky note. It said, it's not about you. Because it's really easy when we're talking to people, especially toward the end of the month when deadlines are coming down and I'm like, ooh, I haven't gotten my Success Club goal yet for the month. It's easy to get focused on my goal and forget about the person I'm talking to. But it's always important to remember that these are people. They're not numbers. They are people, and they have goals, and they have dreams, and they have desires, and they have a reason why they contacted you to talk to you about joining your group or joining coaching or whatever it is you're talking about. They have a reason why they did that. And it's up to us to dig into that reason and ignore what we want out of it. And it's like the Jim Rohn quote that I love. It says, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. You can have everything you want in life if you help enough people get what they want. And it's very true. But that takes focusing on them and learning them. So lead with your heart. Speak from your heart when you're talking to people. Like, get out of your goal-oriented mode and focus on them, and allow compassion and empathy, you know, when you're speaking with people, to come through. Care about them. So when you're talking to somebody, here's a little tip. When you're speaking to somebody, pretend it's your sister or your best friend or somebody you really care about. How would you want someone to talk to your sister if she was coming to them about losing weight? You know, speak with them like you really do care. And do care. Okay, it's not just like an act. Like, you have to care. Because if you're not genuine, that'll come across too. But try to dig into why they want this. Like, it's not just about, you know, oh, I want to lose weight. Yeah, you know, everybody wants to lose weight. We all want to lose weight, okay? That's not the true reason why they're coming to you. There's a deeper emotional reason why. Like, why now? Why me? Why this program? What have you tried in the past? You know, like, dig in to why they want this. And one of the examples I like to use, I was talking to a lady one day and she was fighting me back on this, like, the why thing. Like, she was giving me these super generic answers. And I mean, you can only dig so far, right? Like, you can't push people, but try to give it your best effort. And so I was, you know, kept asking questions, just being curious about her, like, well, you know, asking questions. And finally she came out with it. And when she did, it was like, wow. I remember I cried. I sat there and I didn't know what to say. And she told me, she's like, the true reason why I want to do this is because my wedding ring doesn't fit me anymore. She's like, I haven't been able to wear my wedding ring in 5 years. And I really want to be able to wear my wedding ring for my anniversary. And I was just like, okay, that's the real reason. And when you can get someone plugged in to their true emotional reason why they want to lose weight, the sky is the limit. The sky's the limit. But it takes being curious, and it takes asking questions. You can never ask too many questions. As long as you're coming from that place where you really care and you're compassionate and empathetic, people won't be turned off by it. People love when you're interested in them. So don't feel like, you're pushing too hard. As long as your heart's in the right place, that will come through. Build a relationship based on caring, and they will trust you. So number 3, inspire first. Again, that goes back to telling your story, relate to them. I understand where you're at because this is where I was, and, I got started and boom, 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 this is what I did. But relate to where they are. And again, they'll trust you. Speak confidently from your own experience. Confidence is important. Telling people, look, I know, and I do this all the time. Look, I know this 21-day fix is going to get you to where you want to go because I just did it. All right. And I've seen this many people do it. And I've done so many challenge groups now where I know the average weight loss is like 12 pounds in 21 days. Average weight loss. When you see that and you know that, you can be so confident when you tell somebody who's sitting there who says, I really want to lose weight. You can lose it so fast with this program. You know what I mean? But speak to them like that. Be confident about it. Don't hem and haw about it. Be confident. Be direct. Always put a call to action in at the end of your message. When you get around to talking about the challenge pack and what comes with it, put a call to action. Don't just give them information and walk away. Make sure that there's a, hey, are you ready to do this? If you're ready to do this, I'm ready to run with you. I will be there with you 100% of the way, and I will help you, and I'll do everything I can to make sure that you get your results. And put that call to action. Are you ready? You ready to do this? Let's get you set up. Let's get you ready for the group. And then lastly, follow up. That, I know that seems probably simple, but following up is one of the most often forgotten things. If you're not tracking who you're talking to and you don't have a list made up of who you're talking to, forgetting that you talk to them is going to happen. It's only a matter of time, trust me. I've forgotten people before, and then a month later thought, I wonder how this person's doing, and I go back and I searched for our message, and the last thing is I sent them a coaching webinar, or I sent them an invitation, or we were talking about challenge in the middle of talking about a challenge pack, and I just forgot, and I didn't follow up. How much money have you lost? How many people have you lost because you didn't follow up? So figure out a tracking system that works for you. There's so many options available, but figure out, how to track people so that you don't forget them and you can follow up with them. So at this point, I know we lost a few people, but I'm going to unmute you guys. And if you have any questions, just let me know. We can chat about inviting or anything else. Aw. So does anybody have any questions about what I've covered? Probably not, because it was pretty simple. No?
Yeah, no, writing is vital. It definitely is.
It is. It's one of those things that it's like, oh, I had a quote and I forgot to say it. Sometimes the most beneficial things you can do for your business are the easiest to put on the back burner. And that's so true. That's true of personal development. It's very true of inviting. And a lot of times we let our fear get in the way. It's like we're so scared about, well, this person might say no. Yeah, they might. But if you don't ever ask, you'll never know if they would say yes.
Mm-hmm.
And people do say yes. So, but we never know until we ask. And the thing is really like, I tell everyone that all my coach prospects, but I haven't lost a single friend because I've been a Beachbody coach. Not one person has said, oh my gosh, I can't talk to you anymore, or runs away from me when I walk into a building. I've never had that happen because I've just told myself, well, professionally, I don't hound people, but inviting is not hounding. And if you really truly believe that what you have, and this is again like what I was talking about, inviting, being fueled by the other two, personal development and being proof of products work. It's so true, because if you have an amazing transformation, you automatically want to tell everybody because you're freaking proud of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
And you feel good and you love what you've been able to accomplish. And so just that fact alone, just, really focusing on being proof of the products will lead to wanting to invite, wanting to share your story. And I know that's true for me both times. Because when I first lost weight with P90X, I wasn't a coach, but I was telling everybody on Facebook. I was sharing the crap out of that thing, man. I had my papers, like, I'd be like 40. And then I'd take my picture and post it. Like, for every milestone I hit, every 5 pounds, I had my pictures. Yeah, because I was proud of myself. Like, I was accomplishing something really awesome. And I was telling everybody, and I wasn't making a dime off of it because I wasn't a coach. But, it's the same principle. When you really have an awesome transformation, you're going to want to share it. And sharing leads to, sharing leads to sales, and sharing leads to people joining your team. So.
And people are watching. They might take a while to come around and ask you something, or if you ask them, but they're watching.
They are. They're definitely watching. As a matter of fact, one of my new coaches that just signed up this month, she told me when she signed up, she's like, because I asked her, I was like, well, did you see my post about the 21-day fix and my weight loss 21-day fix? And she's like, oh yeah. She's like, I see all your posts. She goes, I don't ever comment and I don't ever like them. She's like, but I read them all. And I love it. I love them. I'm like, well, why don't you comment? Give a girl some props, man.
Yeah.
People do that. They follow you secretly and you don't even realize. And that's why, this is totally another topic, but that's why it's very important to look at your social media as your shop. This is your business storefront. It's like you're on Main Street, Facebook Main Street, and you have your welcome sign out. Are the lights on, people? Okay. Is it dusted? Is there a welcome mat? Like, put the little bell on the door. I mean, come on. Like, let's make it as inviting and a place that people want to come. Like, you want somebody to go, oh, I wonder what Mary's posted today, and go and type in your name and search for your page. You know what I'm saying? And if you are consistent with your positive encouragement and inspiration and sharing uplifting things, people will do that. They'll look for you. So I was going to go over some examples of invitations, like for different things, how I invite. I don't know if that's helpful to anybody. I really wanted to cover the mindset behind it the most.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, I don't know.
And I already did that. But if you guys would like to chat about, does anybody have any questions about you've done or how to invite? Like an actual invite, the initial invite?
No, I'm just saying, just bring me my name.
I'm going to have to go. My husband just got home. But I'll catch you the rest of the story. I'm sorry.
No, right. I'll talk to you later. Good to see you.
Make it a problem.
Bye.
Bye. And just like that, it's me and Julia. We got left.
Yeah, I think my biggest thing is I realize 30 seconds too late that I missed an invite opportunity. So I think it's more about just retraining myself because, for example, just the other day I was out at a store and the checkout clerk is like, we had the baby with us, and she's like, wow, you look really good for having an 8-month-old baby. And I just out of habit just said, thanks, I appreciate that. And I didn't lead it into, it was P90X, which would have been a great open door to talk about it. And when I got out to the car, I was like,
yeah,
I missed it.
Don't feel bad. I've had that happen so many times. It's really one of those things that it just takes constant practice. And now but I've been doing it for a while, but now I am where it's automatic. But it takes a conscious effort for a little while. You know what I mean? Just like before you go into the store, focus. Take a moment and just be like, okay, I'm going to see how many people I can talk to in the store. Not even about Beachbody, because this, again, it's not just about like sales. It's about connecting with people. But I used to do this, like, okay, I'm going to see how many people I can get to talk to me. And this was huge for me because I am not a chit-chatty person. I am not the type to just talk to somebody I don't know. I'm a California girl all the way. We don't do that. Okay. Like we are not Southern. We're not friendly. We're just kind of like in our own zone. And when I go to the store, like I know what I want and I go get it and I'm done and I want to get out of there and I don't want anybody to talk to me because you're slowing me down. I mean, that's the mindset I was coming from. So for me, I would sit in the car and focus and make a goal. Like, okay, I'm going to walk in the store. I'm going to see how many people I can get to talk to me or smile at me. In California, a smile is like a big deal, okay? But now I go in and like the clerks, are stocking the shelves or whatever, or when I'm in the checkout line, like we have long line, I'll be talking to the lady in front of me about what's in her cart. You know what I mean? Just connecting. And do all of those lead to somebody that is a potential customer? No, but it's training me on how to be more friendly and how to just be open and be open to conversation. And I've signed up customers that way and coaches that way. So not every store trip happens, but I've had it happen. So I signed up a coach. I signed up a coach in the Boudin factory in San Francisco while I was waiting for my clam chowder. It happens. So and it was because I was wearing my Insanity shirt, which I didn't mention that when we were talking about inviting, but wear and share is huge. Mm-hmm. Insanity gets the most comments for me, but they all get comments. P90X, it's so visible. Everybody's seen the infomercial and it looks crazy hard. And so I think even especially for a woman wearing one of the shirts, it's like you'll get attention. Mm-hmm. And in California, if I wear an Insanity shirt, I'll get at least one person to stop me and be like, you did Insanity? Did you really do it? Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm an Insanity instructor. What? And it's a big one. So the wear and share is a huge way to get invites to talk to people. But always get their information. Don't give them a business card. Just say. Yeah,
that's one thing I have gotten better at. Whereas, I'll say, you know what, let me just, instead of giving you a business card, let me just get your email. I'll email you a couple of links. And so I have done that the last few times, and it's worked out really well. Again, it's easier to follow up with. Well, instead of just waiting for them to contact you again.
If you give them your business card, you just gave them 100% control of the relationship. You relinquished all control because you don't know how to contact them. Mm-hmm. But if you get their information, you're in control, at least to a certain extent. I mean, you can't make them respond, but you at least know that you can contact them. Yeah. So I'm going to stop this recording because we're done with that. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do.